Shalom. First off, I give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, Yahweh being the true name of Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai being named for his only begotten Son, who the world eagerly calls God, and Jesus Christ. I want to give double honors to our apostles and elders, great millstone, who taught us truth and will well, and salutations to you, hopefully, pushing us truth and honesty and sincerity. Spread Yahweh Sat, acknowledge the spirit power Yahweh Shai. And this lesson is going into testimony about another dream that I had, and I'm also inspired by a particular scene of the movie called The Book of Clarence that just came out. Meditate on some things about it, man, and I'll just go right into the dream first. It was a very short dream, a lot of bit more to it, but I don't remember much. I actually forgot that I had it, but it came back to me as I was meditating on the topic for this lesson today. Really, I was going to go into how great it is to be a disciple of Yahweh Shai. Okay, in this dream, I had a dream about all the apostles of a great millstone, and particularly the place that it was set was in New York. You know, Elder Apostle Tahar and those apostles, they taught from for years. And in New York, they said, all right, well, we're going to go ahead and prophesy from a new camp spot. And I guess they made a video about it. I was watching a video, and the spot that they chose was at the ocean. Now, it was very weird because the ocean was like the setting was like an ocean that would be out of Florida, you know, extremely warm. Now, of course, you know, you got New York is definitely close to the, you know, Atlantic, which is a colder ocean. But the place that they prophesied from, it was still set in New York, but it was weird because it was at a much more luxurious beach where they all decided to post up. And I remember they were posting up right by a pier off of the ocean. You know, so it was like one of them Florida piers, but it was still, you know, next to a highway and hedge. And I remember just saying, like, wow, man, that's a really beautiful spot to be teaching from, you know, and just the waves were gigantic. They weren't storm waves, though. You know, storm waves are terrifying, but it was like the waves were manipulated, you know, to please the apostles and elders. They were just there just to look at how gorgeous the scene was. And then next thing you know, I believe, if I can remember, it ended up being many brothers start coming out of a great millstone that came to that location as like a gathering to meet up and teach as well. But it was kind of off, you know, off mainstream or off grid, because typically, you know, we prophesy at the chief place of Concord downtown in the cities, but it was time to stop teaching there. It reminds me of when we had to prophesy during the pandemic. You know, we had to teach in secret because we weren't allowed to have, you know, too many people gathering in one spot. You had to do social distancing, and they were saying if you were out at a specific area that Esau was threatening to lock you up. So it was kind of like a similar situation. But it was just like ultimate feeling of peace. A big feeling of peace from just the scenery around it, man. I just couldn't stop looking at it like, wow. I was just smiling like, damn, man, that's beautiful, man. That's a beautiful location to prophesy from. And meditating on it now, you know, it kind of go hand in hand with what I was going to do the lesson on. And what I wanted to teach the lesson on was how great it is to be a man of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and how it's glorified. In the movie The Book of Clarence, you know, as they jump back and forth from the main character, the fictional character, and they jump to the truth, you know. And this part of the movie about the truth was how respected that the disciples of Yahushua, how respected they were. And there was a scene in the movie that said, hey, those men can't be touched. They were protected. And they were performing, miracles, healing people, and ultimately Yahushua was in the movie. And by the way, he's cast as a so-called black man. And they showed you his face later on in the movie. You actually will physically see him and what he looks like, and it's just the amount of respect and reverence that people had. Once they were in formation, they were kind of lined up on either side, waiting for Yahushua to walk through. And he walked through, and then he did his miracles, but it was Clarence and his partner. I think his partner name might have been Elijah. They desperately wanted to be one of those disciples, mainly because of the protection that the Lord had over them. So this movie definitely put a spotlight and pinpoint on the importance of being a prophet and serving Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And back then, a lot of people actually knew that and had great honor and respect for these men. Now, yes, there were scoffers and scorners and scribes and Pharisees that did hate them. So they also were hated. And they were hunted at times. And they wanted to be, people, the Romans, the Centurions, they wanted to kill them. But amongst the Israelites, some of them that, got knowledge and word of what they were doing in the works, they were respected, man. And that's right, they couldn't be touched. Until it was deemed, when you read the scriptures, eventually Yahushua, allowed his disciples to be martyrs for him. But ultimately, just the focus on how honorable it is to be a prophet, really hit home for me in my spirit, and grateful that I'm serving Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And I pray that the Lord never takes that spirit from me, man. To serve him sincerely is an honor. And even though we don't feel, Yahushai in the flesh, because he did the ultimate sacrifice, we still 100% feel him through the spirit and serving him through the spirit. And we catch a lot of trials and tribulations in this walk and serving the Lord. And it can be very difficult at times because of the amount of pain that we feel, especially being in this hellhole Babylon the Great. It can be difficult. But ultimately, we're waiting for that reward, man. And we're strong and we endure like hard soldiers, man. Warriors for Yahweh Shem Yahushai. These were great, sincere, austere men, and they showed you that in the movie, man. They didn't take no shit. They just stayed focused on serving Yahushai and followed him everywhere he went. And that's what we strive to do and to be. So going into the dream and meditating on it, man, that ocean represents, purity, peace, and that living water. Okay? It's the book of John 7:38. It says, he that believeth on me, as the scripture has said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. And out of the mouthpiece of the apostles and elders, a great millstone, man, the work has been accomplished, it's gone forth. It has not returned unto the Lord void. Okay? So that living water has reached the ears of the hopeful elect in the 1/3. And we're approaching, more and more and more to a time where there's going to be a famine of the word. But to get peace and to see that sunset with the beautiful ocean and, the brothers leaking up to teach with the apostles and elders, man, that was a very, heartwarming sight to see and to feel. Being amongst great, renowned men It's honorable. So we're approaching these times, man, where the brothers are going to be exalted and the respect will be overwhelming for works that you do. Isaiah 43:2 says, when thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee, and through the rivers they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. So the Lord is going to protect us, man. He's with us in these waters. In any type of trial or tribulation, he's with us, man. It's like I said, that ocean, it was like, it was there for comfort and peace. It wasn't there to harm us, even though it was very turbulent waves, if that's a good word I could put for it. It's the book of Jeremiah 5:5. It says, I will get me unto the great men and will speak unto them, for they have known the way of Yahweh and the judgment of their God. But these altogether broken the yoke and burst the bonds. So that's what he's done. He's raised up great men. So you must be very thankful when you're in contact with the apostles and elders and men that's been doing this work for years. And also newer brothers too, man, through the Spirit. You never know when you're in the presence of a hopeful elect. That's a man that you could be standing next to that's going to receive that crown on his head. And Lord will we be of that number. We want to get that crown too. So we're just trying to make our calling and election sure the best of our ability, but just to don't forget to be grateful to be amongst the presence of honorable men. Okay? It's the book of Zephaniah 3:19. Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and will save her that halteth, and gather her that was driven out. And I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. So the praise and fame is coming, man. Especially when these judgments begin to hit hard and heavy. That's when people in that movie, Book of Clarence, gonna start looking at you like, hey, these men can't be touched. Hey, they're go the prophets, man. Hey, that's the brothers of great millstone. They've had the truth the whole time. They've been teaching. You're going to have men that want to be a part of that fold. They're going to be following you like groupies, man. And the women, man, they're going to be throwing themselves at you. Because they're going to know, hey, where's the real prize is in the days to come. And that movie is showcased, man. You're like, damn, I could just start thinking about it. Hey, to be of those 12 is great, man. To actually physically walk with Yahweh Shai and he's accepted each and handpicked each one of those men. What an honor. And now, a lot of y'all brothers that's teaching, you've been handpicked. You gotta think about it, man. He's handpicked 144,000. Handpicked. He knew you before you were formed in the womb, the scriptures say. So that's something to meditate on, man. It's the book of Ecclesiastes 8:9. It says, miss not the discourse of the elders, for they also learn of their fathers, and of them thou shalt learn understanding, and to give answer as need requireth. Right? So you need to learn from apostles and elders. You don't just learn this thing on your own. You have to be taught. And you got men that get so prideful, and they think that learning this truth is just something that we just, found out about ourselves. No, we had to learn under righteous elders and apostles that took time and years and studying to get this thing. Ephesians 4:11, and he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and teachers. He gave us apostles and elders for a reason. To teach, to be taught, to learn. So be thankful for that. Matthew 19:28, and Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So there you go, man. Eventually, the brothers, 144,000, and get that crown. They're going to be judges. So give double honors, man, when the credit is due. Don't be prideful like some of these people, these self-proclaimed prophets and evangelists that are ignorant and unlearned. You know? Be thankful to be in the presence of the apostles and elders. And if you got an elder of your camp, be thankful to be amongst them. You know, you got to start getting in the mentality of looking at these brothers for who they are, man, and who you could possibly be around. And that'll motivate you to not offend any brothers, man. You know, and you want to regularly say, hey, Salaki, if I caused any offense, it was necessary. And ask brothers if you've offended anybody. And try to correct it. You know, scriptures say, woe unto him that offend these little ones. You know, so that's why also the world's got a heavy judgment for touching the Lord's anointed and doing the Lord's prophets harm. Scriptures say, touch not my anointed and do them no harm, man. And a lot of people in our personal lives have done that very act, and they're going to pay for it. So with that, Lord's will, lessons edifying. I'm going to close out. Give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem HaKadosh. Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone that taught us his truth and will well. The salutations to hopeful that pushing his truth and all sincerity. Shalom.